Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to install Nginx on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. Okay. So first of all, before installing Nginx, we need to understand what is Nginx, right? And benefits of using Nginx and so on. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, we need to understand what is Nginx. So Nginx is a free open source high performance HTTP server and reverse proxy, as well as an IMP at POP3 proxy server. And here, as you can see, Nginx is known for its stability, rich feature set, then simple configuration and low resource consumption. And Nginx is a web server that is used to serve web pages, and it is a popular choice for web servers because it is fast and reliable. Then Nginx can be used for host websites, applications, and it can also be used as a reverse proxy server. Okay, so here it will, as well as here, as you can see, IMAP and POP3 proxy server. Okay, then after that, that's the Nginx. After that, we need to understand benefits of Nginx. Okay, benefits of using Nginx. So Nginx is a high performance web server with a small footprint, and it is efficient and can handle a large number of concurrent connections with ease. Then Nginx is also highly scalable and can be used to load balance across multiple servers. Then using Nginx can result in significant performance gain for your website or applications. Nginx is able to handle more concurrent connections than other web servers, and meaning that it can serve more users at the same time without slowing down. Nginx is also much more efficient than other web servers using less memory and CPU resources. Then the another benefits is additionally Nginx is highly scalable and can be used to load balance across multiple servers, and this means that if you have a large website or application with heavy traffic, Nginx can distribute the load across multiple servers to ensure that your site remains responsive. Okay, then as you can see, why might someone choose to Nginx over another web server software? Okay, then we need to understand the reasons. So the main reasons is below, as you can see. So let's understand. Nginx is known for its performance and efficiency, and it can handle a large number of concurrent connections and has a small memory footprint, which makes it good choice for high traffic websites. Nginx is also highly scalable, and it can be easily configured to handle a large amount of traffic, and it can be easily scaled up or down as needed. Then Nginx is also very versatile, and it can be used as a reverse proxy, load balancer, and HTTP cache, with which makes it a good choice for wide range or application. Okay. Then Nginx is also easy to configure and maintain, and in configuration files are simple and straightforward, which makes it easy to manage even for use who are not experienced with web server software. Overall, Nginx is a popular choice for web server software because of its performance, efficiency, scalability, versatility, and easy of use. Ease of use. Okay, so that's the main reason someone choose to Nginx over another web server software. So we have learned what is Nginx, benefits of using Nginx, and the reasons of Nginx that someone choose to Nginx over another web server software. Okay. Now let's start to install Nginx on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So first of all, we need to understand the prerequisites. So as you can see, the prerequisites are below. First of all, you should have a create VM, that means virtual machine, that are instance of Ubuntu. As you can see here, I have successfully installed my instance. As you can see, launch my instance. Okay. And you can see I have successfully connected to my terminal. Then after that, next is have a user account with sudo privilege, and then have a domain name pointing to your public server IP. So as you can see, here is my domain. As you can see, my domain name is devopsin.xyz. Okay, DNS management. Okay. Now let's start to install Nginx. So first of all, to install Nginx on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS is 24, right? Then first of all, we need to update our system package on Ubuntu. So here is the command to update the system package, sudo apt update. Okay, it's done. Then the next command is if you want to upgrade your system package, then you can use below command. However, it is optional. If you want to upgrade your system package, then you can upgrade. Otherwise, you can skip this step also. It takes few seconds to upgrade your system package. After that, now the next command is install Nginx on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS using apt. So to install Nginx, the command is here sudo apt install -y then Nginx. Okay. So wait a second. Nice upgrading our system package. So it takes few seconds. It's almost done. Yeah, it's done. Okay. Now it's time to install Nginx. So the command is sudo apt install -y Nginx. So as you can see, it's installing Nginx in our Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, and as you can see, it's done. Okay. So let me clear screen first. After that, if you want to check the status of your Nginx, then you can check the status also. As you can see, it's active running. Okay. Now the next step is, as you can see, the second step, we need to adjust the firewall in Ubuntu. Okay. So if you are installing Nginx on local system, then allow traffic on port 80 in UFW. If you are installing on cloud instance, then allow port in cloud security. So okay, I'm going to port number. Okay, it's updated because here I'm going to use my domain. Now to allow traffic on port 80 enabled by this typing sudo UFW allow Nginx HTTP. Okay. Then if you want to check the status of your UFW, as you can see, it's inactive. We need to replace this active. So how? So the command is here sudo UFW enable. Yes. Now let's check the status. As you can see, now it's active, and as you can see the rules. Okay. Now let's clear the screen. Okay. Now it's done. Now let's go to the next step. Now the next step is verifying Nginx installation on Ubuntu. Okay, so let's verify. So how? So you need to enter your instance IP in browser. As you can see, verify Nginx install correctly. Open a web browser and type in the address bar. That's your server IP address. That means our instance IP. So here is my instance. I'm going to copy my instance IP and I'm going to paste in web browser. As you can see, welcome to Nginx. If your CD's page and so on, that means we have successfully installed Nginx in our Ubuntu. Okay, it's done. Right. Now, the next step is after opening this URL, you can see the Nginx default page as in the image below. Okay. Now, let's move to the next step. Now the next step is managing Nginx process using systemctl. So below our systemctl command to manage Nginx web server on Ubuntu. So use below command to stop Nginx processing using systemctl. If you want to try, then you can stop Nginx first. So it takes few seconds. Okay, it's stopped. Okay. After that, if I refresh my page, as you can see, the site can't be reached. Okay. Now let's start the Nginx. I'm going to restart the Nginx. Now if I want to check the status, as you can see, it's active running. Now I'm going to refresh the page. As you can see, welcome to Nginx. Okay. Okay. Now here, as you can see, if you're only making configuration changes, Nginx can reload without dropping connection. So we need to reload the Nginx also. Okay. After that, by default, Nginx is configured to start automatically when the server boots. So if this is not what you want, then you can disable this behavior. So you can run this command if you don't want. Okay. Now let's clear the screen. And after that, let's enable the Nginx. Okay. Now let's go to the fifth step. Now the fifth step is configure Nginx Server-Blocks on Ubuntu. So first create a directory structure as shown in below. So here, as you can see, here I'm going to create a directory and the location is here where www, and then as you can see my folder name that test.devopsin.xyz. This is my domain name, test.devopsin.xyz, as you can see. Okay, so here, so that's why my folder name is like that. Then assign the directory ownership to the currently logged in user. So ensure to be logged in to the regular user rather than a sudo user. So it will make it easier for to edit to create a contact in the directories. So we need to give some permission to the particular directory that we have made. After that, grant login to this read and write execute permission. So I'm going to give the permission. Then after that, as you can see, next is we need to create a sample index.html file inside the domain root directory for each of our sites that will be displayed when you visit the domain in your browser. Okay, so here I'm going to create this directory file, sample file, that index.html in this directory. We have create directory this sudo where www.test.devopsin.xyz/html, right? And in this directory, we are going to create this index.html file. And in this file, we need to paste this HTML code. And this will print welcome to this. This will be title, welcome to test.devopsin.xyz. And there is a message, welcome to Nginx blocks and congratulations, you have successfully configured to Nginx server blocks. Okay, so let's save the file. So here I'm going to use this VM editor. So that's why we need to save this file. So to save this file, I'm going to enter escape, press escape, then colon WQ exclamation and enter. Okay, so now successfully save our file. Okay. Now, after that, then the location for Nginx server is in this available directory, directory. So we will therefore need to create server blocks that we will, the content index.html file will created earlier. Okay. So I'm going to create this file in this location /etc Nginx sites available test.devopsin.xyz. So let's create the file here, and in this file I'm going to paste this, and here you can see the port number 80 and root directory, the devopsin.xyz.html, and these are in index.html file, right? And our server name. So we need to add server name here. As you can see, my server name test.devopsin.xyz. So I'm going to save this file, :wq exclamation enter. Okay, it's done. Okay. Now after that, as you can see, enable Nginx Server-Blocks. So as you can see, so we need to run this command to enable our server blocks. Okay, but before before run this command, we need to add here DNS record. Okay, so as you can see here, this is my server and domain, and my domain name is devopsin.xyz, and I'm going to create a new record, sorry. So I'm going to add new record. So click on add record, and here I'm going to choose A, and my record name will be test, and value I'm going to paste this my instance IP, and here I'm going to click custom and 600, and in seconds I'm going to enter 600. As you can see here, I have entered test. Why test? Because as you can see here, my domain name is test.devopsin.xyz, right? Test means is this name, and .devopsin.xyz. Click on save. Now as you can see, the name, test, data, TTL, and so on. If you want to update, then you can click on this edit and you can update this record. Okay, it's done. Now, the next step is we need to run this command to enable Nginx Server-Blocks. So let's enable. So if your domain name is another different, right? Then you need to replace this name. Okay. Then after that, you should now confirm whether all configuration are in order. So to check, you need to run this command. So as you can see, it's okay, successful, it's done. Now let's check the status of our Nginx. First of all, we need to restart the Nginx. Then let's check the status. As you can see, it's active running. Okay, it's done. Everything is okay. Now, okay, we have successfully added a record in our domain, right? As you can see, add a record in your domain provider with your VM IP to access your server blocks using domain name. Okay, so as you can see, my domain name is test.devopsin.xyz. Now, as you can see, now access your server blocks domain on browser as shown in below. So here, this is my domain name, test.devopsin.xyz. I'm going to copy it and paste in browser to access this HTML page, index.html page that we have created. As you can see, welcome to Nginx Server-Blocks, and as you can see in title, welcome to test.devopsin.xyz, and in headings we have enter welcome to Nginx Server-Blocks, and in center we have enter congratulations, you have successfully configured your Nginx Server-Blocks. Okay, so we have accessed this page, right? So we have successfully accessed our page. So this is my domain name, right? Okay, so it's done, right? So now in this next step, in next or last step, I have mentioned Nginx configuration files and directories. So below are important Nginx configuration files and directory which you should know. Okay, you can see first of all where www.html. As you can see, when we install Nginx by default, where www.html directory gets created, and when you access it on browser, then content load from this directory. Okay, Then as you can see, Nginx configuration files. So first of all, /etc/nginx. So this is Nginx configuration directory. All of the Nginx configuration files reside here. The next is etc/etc nginx config. So this is Nginx global configuration file. When you modify it, it will apply to all content which used Nginx. The next is /etc nginx sites available. To enable a website, you must create a symbolic link inside the /etc nginx/sites enable directory pointing to the actual host file in this /etc/nginx sites available, and the nginx config file reviews the context of the site enable directory and determines which virtual host files to include. Then /etc/nginx sites enabled. The /sites enable folder will include symbolic to the site configuration file located within /etc/nginx sites available. Then etc Nginx snippet. So snippets allow you to insert raw Nginx config into different context of the Nginx configuration that the Nginx controller generates. Okay, so that's the Nginx configuration files and directories of Nginx. That's it. So it's done. Okay. So as you can see, this is our final output that here we have successfully accessed this page using my domain. As you can see in this domain, I have added the record. Okay, as you can see here, we have added a record. Okay, that name and instance IP and so on, and we have successfully accessed this page. Okay, so first of all, you need to create the new record in DNS. Okay, and the type will be A and name whatever you want. You can enter a name, then data, that means your instance IP or server IP. Okay, and then your domain name will be name dot then your domain name. So my domain name is test.devopsin.xyz. Okay, so that's the Nginx that we have installed in this instance IP, and that's the page of HTML that we have created in my domain. So that's it. So it's done. So in this session, we have learned how to install Nginx on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. And in this session, we have learned, first of all, how to install Nginx, then how to access Nginx page, page, and after that, how to create HTML page in domain, and how to access this page in our using our domain. So that's it. We have successfully installed Nginx on Ubuntu. So it's done. So thank you for watching, and I hope you understand.